but she's like so like she don't want nobody to know who she is for real. But she'll talk to you and kick it with you if she know you. But if she don't know you, she ain't messing with you.
Makes sense that she should.
Yeah, she low key with it. She's low key with it.
She
We got a double helping of surviving Diddy. Let's get it started. All right, surviving Diddy. This is Jay-Z has now been inserted by Tony Buzbee. Attorney, we have talked about this is the third time we've talked about him in surviving Diddy. The first time we was like, dang, maybe all these people. Then the second time we found out, which I don't know why people are not talking about as much, is when we found out. Remember that he had a current lawsuit with a woman that says that she never got her money and he never represented her correctly. So now I'm gonna tell you something else that's not out there. So there's another gentleman suing him right before all this, accusing him. Yes,
damn,
suing him of. So basically, he got some kind of malpractice suit. Not malpractice, some like workplace situation. Right. And Tony Buzbee kept it, but then gave him out money little by little, but was said that he hadn't got the money yet and was loaning him the money and then putting interest on it. Loaning his own money out to him and then putting interest on it. That's what he's been accused of in the lawsuit. So
he did that shit.
You know, look at Tony. Look like he would do it. Like if you got him as a lawyer, you got to have another lawyer to make sure he okay. Like Tony gonna get it done, but Tony also might keep your money. It's just what it is, you know. Yeah. It's just the nature of being with Tony. But so Tony, go ahead.
No, that's just wild. That's all I was saying. I'm like, that shit is wild, yo.
So Tony has now released. It was an addendum to a previous lawsuit that Tony introduced against Diddy, accusing him of accosting a 13-year-old girl after the VMAs. They claim that another celebrity, a woman, was in the room. Diddy was in there as well. Jay-Z, assaults the woman, sexually assaults the young woman. Then Diddy does it, and another female, unidentified female celebrity was in the room as well.
Yep. We talked about this case.
Yep. But we didn't know who the other
person was allegedly Jay-Z.
Yes. Now the other person. Before we go into, do you want to suspect who the female or woman, female unidentified person is? You think it's somebody random?
I don't think it's somebody random. I don't know.
That's what somebody random you wouldn't think would be hanging with them for real.
It could be, but it could be the obvious person.
Who's the obvious person?
I'm not saying. Yep, we're not saying the name because I don't want nobody to send us a cease and desist.
But is she considered
obvious? But it could be so obvious. You know how sometimes things like, nah, that's too obvious, but it's so obvious that it could be true.
Yeah, but this one is getting more and more like ridiculous. So supposedly the young lady was trying to get into VMAs. Some security guard comes out and says, "Oh yeah, you be one of Diddy's girls." Gets her into the party. They drug her on the way to the after party. The situation happens that I just described. She runs out. After everything is over, she runs out, calls her dad. Which I'm like, why you ain't going to shoot up the club? That's just me. Maybe that's just me. I'm just a dad, and I'm not trying to. Everything situation is different, so I'm not trying to put nothing upon another man and how they're. But I'm just saying me. And she's 13. I'm shooting up. I'm just saying it's some table was gonna be moving or something.
Tables. Oh, he's shaking the table.
And this is in 2000. So I'm like, all right, I'm with you. So then Jay-Z immediately, a couple hours later, releases this response that I'm going to read to everybody, which is interesting. My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Buzbee. So before, Tony Buzbee was saying that he only called. Well, I'm gonna read the statement first, and then I'll dive into it more. Named Tony Buzbee, who what he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for fraud. You are the very public. Hold on, let me pull in. Trying to make this bigger. You are the very public. Hold on. This is yeah, it's just set up wrong. I'm gonna put it down in this window. I'm gonna be looking down, y'all. Sorry.
I was like, I got it. Want me to help you?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud that you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal report, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I've done a little bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you have become such a deplorable human being, Mr. Busby, but I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I am more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit down with our children, one of whom is of the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such things at their young age. It's unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and hurt and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to the true victims in the world who have watched their story, have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit.
We said this before.
And then he said, you have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the projects of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have a very strict code and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me. It is not for the seriousness surrounding harms to kids will be laughable. I look forward to showing you how different I am.
So, all right. So I'm going to read Tony Buzbee's response to that. But the thing is that allegedly Tony Buzbee reached out and he said, I just wanted mediation. If a lawyer reaches out to me for mediation, I want some money. I've never heard of a mediation. What else do we have to talk about? The mediation besides money. So that's something. And now keep in mind, I'm going to have a flip side of this in a moment. But Tony Buzbee says, regarding the Jay-Z case and his efforts to silence my clients, and this fool put up a picture with his, like, you know, it was almost like how the girls were putting up pictures and then the deep thoughts up under it. Mm-hmm. This kind of gave me the feel, but in lawyer talk. He says, regarding the Jay-Z case and his efforts to silence my clients, Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my firm. He filed his frivolous case under a pseudonym. What he fails to say in his recent statement is my firm sent his lawyer a demand letter on behalf of an alleged victim and that the victim never demanded a penny from him. Instead, she only sought a confidential mediation. Since I sent the letter on her behalf, Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but he has tried to bully and harass me and this plaintiff. His conduct has had the opposite impact. She is emboldened. I am very proud of her resolve. So there we go. Tony Buzbee on Instagram. That's what lawyers are releasing press releases on Instagram now. Now, I will first say before we dive into this as a fully topic, we don't know these people, man. Unless you've been around Jay-Z and been hanging out with him and know his character, know who he is, we can't put any of this past any of these folks unless you know them personally. I'm putting that out there first and foremost. Hey, man, but Tony Buzbee seems slimy as hell, though, regardless. With that being said, it's the hotline number. We joked about the hotline number, like, yo.
It's okay. Look,
he also ran for Houston mayor and lost recently. I found out too.
I I know that there are people saying that Jay-Z did not do this. Jay-Z
We don't know if he did or not. I'm not going. We don't
so
know.
that's what I want people to understand. We don't know. We don't know what
it looks to. If I put my naked out, it looks to be frivolous. I will say that.
And
in this case,
yes, and part of me wants to play devil's advocate, but I feel like I don't want to. I just because Jay-Z really I kind of hate that he even said anything.
No, I'm gonna disagree with you, but go ahead.
And the reason why is because we don't really know Jay-Z to respond to gossip, and I get why you did it. Like I mean, the key point is I like that he said that if this happened, if I am being accused of this stuff, why aren't you taking this to the police? Mm-hmm. Why is this a civil suit?
And Jay-Z was added later on to this suit, so he wasn't immediately. He wasn't.
Yeah.
He's added recently, like on Sunday, and we found out.
Correct. But I agree with him on that. But then it's also understanding the statute of limitations, and I think it's too late for that.
Someone told me that New York has no statute of limitations on sexual assault. Let me look that up again real quick.
Well, no, they have an extension because that's how Cassie was able to file that suit.
But no, I'm talking about for law-wise.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm looking here. It says for adult survivors, statute of limitation is 3 years. However, legislation passed in 2019 allows most of the survivors 20 years statute of limitations.
Damn, so they just missed it.
No. It passed in 2019 allows most adult survivors of sexual abuse and assault 20 years statute of limitations.
So is it 20 years?
That's for civil, though. That's for civil.
That's for civil.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's for criminal?
That's what I'm looking for criminal here now.
Okay. Because depending on what that is, that's how you have a lot of people and
20 years for criminal and civil, both.
Okay, so is it 20 years from when the incident occurred? If it's 20 years from the incident occurring, we're 4 years.
Oh, wow. Nope. Change it up. In New York, there is for first degree rape and sexual assault, there is no statute of limitation for aggravated sexual. So for these, murder, obviously, conspiracy to murder, rape, aggravated sexual abuse, and course of sexual conduct against a child are all no statute of limitations in New York, period.
Then he needs to they need to be going to civil criminal.
Yeah.
So
that you get it if it was another state like Cali or whatever other state maybe in the issues or whatever.
So I think the issue I'm with Jay-Z on that because like we see people do that like consistently all the time. It's like this happened to me and trauma, and I want people to understand too. Is trauma works in weird ways. And so you can compartmentalize something and it could be 15 years down the line because you suppress something, it could come back to the surface.
Yep, true.
So you have that aspect of it. But then if this could be something that's frivolous, you have yet again, people that are actual victims.
Yes.
That are getting lost in the shuffle.
Yep.
I think I think that this is definitely interesting, and I just don't want to say too much.
I'm gonna say something right here though. Regardless if Jay-Z did this or not, Tony Buzbee is fucked up.
Oh, absolutely.
You fucked up. You better have what do we always say? If you gonna come at somebody, you come at the king, you best not miss. Diddy was set up for him to take his fall. First of all, Diddy is not infrastructure, and most people say oh, Diddy was this billionaire, he's all this kind of stuff. He wasn't a part of the structure of the culture as much, and I would say in the structure of mainstream culture as much as Diddy and Beyonce are. All these people's conduits to black culture is through Jay-Z. Let's keep it, whatever you want to say about that, it is what it is.
That's fair.
And it's a lot of people's money involved with Jay-Z, way more than Diddy. Diddy has fucked up bridges and did all kind of different things and pissed people off and not moved correctly or you know, did his Diddy thing. But if you gonna have Jay-Z, you better have him on it. I'm talking, you better have him dead to rights, because it's a lot of money involved with that man.
Yep.
A lot of money. So even if he did it or not, Tony, you fucked up, because you're the wrong, like, it's like, there's so many optical things that are bad for this, regardless if he did it or not. Like I said, we do not know. Tony, you look like you are doing a grift thing already against Diddy with the hotline number.
Yeah, that was a lot.
He's also the one that went after Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Clemson Tigers. It's not Clemson Tigers, from Houston Texans. He's on the Cleveland Browns now. He had cases in that. You also have the idea that there's always people money involved that make money with Jay-Z or with Jay-Z or because of Jay-Z. So you gonna mess up my money, you better be right about this. Because even if we're not right, and if you're not right, even if you are right about it, we may not even care, Tony. You ain't that white yet.
You know, I think so.
And I know that may sound, and I know that's crazy to say that most of the time you go, "Oh, white man can take a black man out." That's not always true.
That's not.
Not no just regular lawyer from Houston ain't gonna take down no situation where he's got the Super Bowl, the NFL behind him. He's got Rock Nation. You know, he's got all these partnership deals with all these people. They ain't letting the money fall off like that. Tony better be ready for a ride, because they're gonna come out. All that shit is mentioned about Tony with all these different little cases and bullshit he went through. You think that ain't gonna start coming up in media articles and being slipped to TMZ and being slipped to all these different media outlets? You know, Tony got a lawsuit on him on this. Tony was caught with a DUI. Tony was. You think that all ain't gonna come out?
Well, here's the other flip side of this too. I wonder if this is a little bit of. So we know that the underage thing is a reoccurring thing.
Mm-hmm.
And likely the people that were at these parties that were underage likely could have possibly, I'm not going to confirm because I wasn't there. I ain't never been to a Diddy. I don't know the ins and outs. But it could be a possibility that these people have fake IDs and did not know what they could. It's like the thing, you remember the scene in Scary Movie where they have Regina Hall talking about Shannon Doherty, not Shannon Doherty's character.
I know the one that's playing Shannon Doherty, the girl, movie.
Yeah, and so, and she, talking about she was at a Diddy party this summer, making out with a backup dancer, blah 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 blah. So like they're all in high school, so there's clearly a reoccurring thing that Hollywood has known. But I'm wondering if it could have been something like that, because like you said, if she was trying to get to the VMAs and then somebody was like, "Oh, you could go to Diddy party."
No, you were on Diddy's girls, and he got her in.
Yeah, okay, he got her in. So I'm wondering if
they got into a limo, and
yeah. So I wonder if it was something like that. That does not excuse the behaviors or whatever that happened. But if you are proceeding to do something or act as if this person is an adult, I don't know. I had a fake ID. I sound like the intro to Tipsy, but it's true. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
or it sound like the May song. She got ID, B. No, I followed her to school one day. She is not 19.
So yeah. So I'm wondering if it's something like that. And then now again, you're seeing this trauma has resurfaced. It doesn't matter, because even though you had a fake ID and could have went and been somewhere, the people there was treating you like an adult. And That's how you get. That's why these cases are big on IDing people, because kids ain't supposed to be in environments like that.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's something where that could be the situation, possibly. And with a lot of those things, but at the end of the day gotta end, and that don't matter, because if we can prove that at this date and time you were 13 or 14 or 15,
That's all
this
that
is
matters.
underage. Yeah. So that's the sucky part.
I mean, there's rumors. I haven't been able to confirm it, but they were saying that there's pictures of Jay at another VMA after party at the same time they claim this was happening. I'm not sure if I've seen people saying that he was they have pictures of him being at another party, after party, like an official NTV VMA after party.
I could see that,
but we don't. Man, it's so right like now, I said, we don't
like,
know.
Right now is so this is hearsay, but also it's like, if how can you prove that?
He claims she got pictures. They got pictures of them all together. That's what Tony Buzbee claims.
So because of a picture I took with somebody, that can get me in trouble. But here's the
and I don't even know the picture.
This girl allegedly also contacted like another, I don't know if it was like the firm that's representing Jay-Z, but there was something that came out that said that she had been in contact with another like law firm, and they refused to represent her because they said, like the story was fabricated.
So even the Diddy part, or the whole thing?
Well, as far as I know, it was all a lie, but I don't know. Now I feel like,
and that's the thing, is that the power on for Diddy is starting to affect everybody else.
Yeah, the thing, he really moving through life like he didn't do this shit, because he was at the premiere last night for Mufasa with Blue Ivy and Beyonce. So I don't know,
how's the Beehive taking this, Dom? What is the Beehive saying?
I have, what? Honestly, I was working all day, so I really haven't even been on Twitter or under comments like that. But it's just, I think it's just weird across the board. And like I said, like, this just goes back to the whole thing. If this is, let's say this isn't true, like you said, we don't know people, we don't know the ins and outs, and also this could have happened, particularly in the manner that I said that it happened, and so in your mind, you like, doesn't it happen? Because I didn't sleep with no damn 13-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I got down at some part, like at a party, but definitely not no damn 13-year-old. And then you find out, oh, what the hell? Hey y'all, if y'all like what y'all see here on Everyone Needs an Aquarius, be sure to like, subscribe, and share our podcast with your friends, because we got all the tea. And if you want to check out more stuff from us, be sure to hit that button right there on the right side, so you can see other stuff, and again, share it with everybody.